Things are pretty run down around here, and the lighting sucks. Sure doesn't make it easy to catch villains.
It's you.
We're here to help you, to give a little relief to those who normally uphold justice. Knuckle Duster! And the Crawler!
And I've got nothing to do with these boys!
Before we get started, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to introduce themselves, basically tell everybody who you are, what you do, and also tell us your top 2 favorite My Hero Academia characters or Vigilante and why you like them.
All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Jack BROADBENT. I play the lead character in My Hero Academia Vigilantes, Kōichi HAIMAWARI, the Crawler. And my favorite 2 characters from Vigilantes is going to be Knuckle Duster and Captain Celebrity.
Okay. Why you like Knuckle Duster? Because that's a character I chose too.
He's just so freaking cool. Like every scene he's in, it's either hilarious or badass. There's no in between. It's never a dull moment. And Jason is the voice actor of Knuckle Duster. Jason Marnoka is like the best person in the world. He's got like the heart of gold. He's the total opposite of Knuckle Duster in that sense. And it's just, he's the coolest guy ever. And I have to support my man.
I'll have to say, when it comes to like your main character, mentor type of person, I like him a lot more than All Might. And the only reason for it is because I like the fact that he's out here trying to make a difference and he doesn't have a quirk.
Yeah.
And that like scene, because I just rewatched the first few episodes, but when he was fighting Eraserhead and you seeing Eraserhead just like trying to figure out, and then he's using his ability on him, he's like, and it's not doing nothing, and you're like, right. Oh, okay. So now this man out here fighting all these people with quirks, and then who are amplifying their quirks and becoming instant villains, and he's still out here trying to fight them. And it's like, it makes you like think to yourself, because if you watch My Hero Academia, right, and all their abilities and stuff, it makes it hard for you to think of a regular person out here just fighting these superhero quirks. You know what I mean? Oh, but he's doing it. Like, yeah. So it's just like, okay. So I just like his mindset in this.
I love the Knuckle Duster mindset. I think it's such a cool. I can't believe they didn't explore that more in Academia, because I feel like that's what a lot of people would have liked to see from Deku. And obviously, I'm not a huge My Hero Academia expert, but Deku associated heroes with superpowers and quirks like All Might. Yep. And I think it would have been really interesting to, if he never had gotten All for One or One for All, and to be a vigilant, a quirkless hero, kind of like Knuckles, and throughout the series he can find like gadgets and ways to kind of counteract quirks, and kind of like the Batman thing where you have to diffuse a power so that you can kind of have an even playing field.
Yeah,
I think it's an interesting avenue that they really didn't go down. So
I really wish they would have kind of explored that more with Deku, because I feel like it would really help with his character, because I still think he's one of those people that still had to kind of train hard.
Oh, sure.
But he's also on that list of gifted people because he was kind of gifted his abilities. You know what I mean? Right. Whereas kind of like Kōichi, you're kind of watching him from the start where you're kind of like, I wonder what this ability is going to turn to, because right now all we see is he's moving on the ground, but then you have to start thinking like, how much more are they going to go into this, because he's going to have to be more than this, because they're fighting stronger and stronger villains. So I can't wait to kind of see how much they advance his quirk. Right. You got any ideas or anything you think they might do with it? Or
I've read the whole manga through and through at least once now. I reread some of my favorite books more than once, but yeah, I won't give it away because it's a really great kind of character growth throughout the series. But Kōichi like slowly, gradually gets better at using his quirk in unique and interesting ways that don't feel like a total ass pull of just like, oh, I can just do this all of a sudden, it's awesome. It's more of just like it feels very natural, the kind of progression he has with
So what actually is his quirk?
Do you want me to just give it away, kind of?
Yeah,
a vague spoiler. Okay, so his ability is kind of a repulsion / adhesion quirk where he can slightly repulse from the ground or he can slightly adhere to it.
Okay.
And it's not locked to him having certain amounts of points of contact like he thinks. That's just like a mental barrier he has, because his mom growing up beat him every time he like used his quirk like in a dangerous way, and so he like assumed like, oh, my quirk is I have to stay on the ground, I can't go this fast. But as the series goes on, he kind of unlearns those bad habits, and he can like, use it just standing up, and he can shoot propulsions, and he can fly and stuff. So,
oh man, I can't wait to kind of see him unlock
really
that.
Interesting. Oh yeah, he becomes. I mean, I don't know the power scaling of it all, but he becomes a contender for top 10 heroes in Japan. You know, in terms of powers, he's never an official hero. But in terms of like his ability, he becomes a contender for top 10.
And see, if anybody does consider that a spoiler, I don't think you can consider it a spoiler, because the beginning of My Hero, it literally tells you that this is his story to become the #1 hero. So the spoiler is in the beginning of the theme. So, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, but that is very interesting. I can't wait to kind of see him kind of explore that more, and we kind of look more into that trauma that kind of locked that away, because we did kind of see that episode with his mom, but we didn't really get to kind of explore like what's the boundaries of his childhood and stuff like that.
Right. Well, I mean, they showed it at the very least as a baby, he was like able to very casually fly around. Like it was like super like effortless. It was a baby doing it. Now as an adult, he can like barely get off the ground. Like he has to really try. So yeah, I feel like a lot of it is just him kind of relearning that his quirk is actually kind of decent.
So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off my list of my top 2 favorite My Hero Academia characters. I already said Knuckle Duster and kind of gave you my explanation. For my #1, it would be Deku, because Deku is my top character, but I couldn't choose him because I just kind of wanted to choose a different character. And I chose Bakugo. And it's like, you still kind of chose the main character, but I chose Bakugo because I feel like Bakugo is the best in terms of character development. We kind of see his character change from being that aggressive guy. I mean, he's still aggressive, but his relationship with Deku kind of changed from him being a bully to them actually becoming friends and stuff, and kind of understanding more why Kanchan was kind of like, where the fuck, this guy that didn't have anything, now you are up maybe past my level, and like, where did this all come from? This timid guy now more courageous than me. But I like the fact that you kind of see everything that Deku likes within a character within Kanchan, like his fighting style, his demeanor, all of this comes from Kanchan. Like he really looks up to Kanchan, and I just like his combat expertise. I mean, he's one of the best hand-to-hand fighters you get to see. And the fact that I like him coming back in this new season, the final season, because I was kind of heartbroken when they kind of had him get taken out in the last season, and I'm like, oh man, like I hope he's not out.
I hope they bring it back somehow. Yeah.
Woo. But yeah, they did. So it was pretty cool to kind of see him get some spotlight on him and stuff like that.
I saw those episodes because I've only seen episode 1 of My Hero, and then I've seen the last season, season 8, and those first couple episodes where Bakugo is kind of just going off and having that spectacular fight with kind of teenage All For One. It's like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Man, I'm just sitting here like, okay, this is epic, because I like seeing the fight with him and All Might, because it's kind of cool to kind of seeing All Might kind of get pressed in the moment of kind of being kind of like Knuckle Duster, where you're fighting one of the top bad guys, and you're doing it with just an armor suit. And I know it's kind of giving you your base abilities, but it's not it don't give you the same heart and soul as if you had your quirk. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's just like, man. But I do like seeing him out there fighting, though, because he could have easily been sitting in the background, which I would have been like, that's bull crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm one of those people where I feel like if you send people out to fight, you should be on the front lines too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I feel like that's the only way you can really show that you about it. You know what I mean? You can start wars. You got to at least be in them.
Absolutely.
But we're going to go ahead and just jump into what we've recently been watching and listening to and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and let you take the floor. Is there anything you want to recommend? And it could be anime or non-anime related. Any cool books or anything? Scary movies? Well, it is kind of Thanksgiving time. So maybe
it is Thanksgiving. Christmas. I was a big Home Alone fan growing up. Loved me some Kevin McAllister. The first 2 movies, and then kind of afterwards it gets dicey. But in terms of like anime stuff, I've been loving Fire Force. That's been kind of my main show recently. I really wish I was in it.
Okay.
That's a really cool show with a lot of just amazing visuals, and the characters are interesting, the world is interesting, and then the whole idea that it's kind of a prequel to Soul Eater, which was one of the first animes I'd ever seen as a kid.
Okay.
I think it's a cool tie into the world. And so many great people are in it. Jeremy Inman, Aaron Roberts, other people that I'm losing the name on. Lots of good people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of Shinra's name because I actually had him on, but it just lost. It just kind of lost for me real quick.
Right. When you need them, they never come to you. But yeah, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of other animes recently because
Derek Snow.
There you go. Yeah. I haven't been watching a lot of anime because I'm so into the making it process that I get like kind of bitter and jealous if I'm not in the show. Like Gaichai Kuda, I really, really want to be in that because it looks spectacular. Like the art looks great, the characters are great, the writing is great, and I'm not in it. And it just I watch, I'm like, oh, I want to be there. But
I feel I be feeling that way in certain animes too. When you just be like, man, I would love to just voice a character in this real quick.
Something, but yeah, you can't win them all.
For sure. For me right now, I just been kind of just rewatching a lot of older shows. I've kind of been waiting to kind of jump into the new season and stuff because I kind of like to binge stuff and kind of watch them all. And I'm a little upset because they were kind of having Bleach, the new season of Bleach, for the last few cores come out around this time, but they kind of wanted to wait and kind of bring the last core into next year, which I don't have no problem with that because, you know, we are right now kind of in that space where animation is kind of becoming a big thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've seen the new season of One Punch Man, but I know the complaints and everything people have been saying and all this, and that being like one of the top, like a top anime to a lot of people. But like, I haven't even got to start it yet, but I'm hoping it's not as bad as people are saying it is because I really do like One Punch Man. I've read the manga and everything. So it's like, oh man, I can't believe. I
grew up when I was in high school. I watched the first season when it came out, and it's phenomenal. Beautiful. I mean, in terms of the comedy and the animation is gorgeous. And then season 2 was like, okay, this is fine. It still looks great. The characters are great. Everything's fine. Season 3, truth be told, is rough.
It's rough.
It's people are like just sliding down hills without walking, and they like reuse animations and like poses. I'm like, compared to season 1, this is so like upsetting.
Man, and that's so heartbreaking because it kind of gives you the same feel like what kind of happened with Blue Lock, and where you had that season 1 looks good, and then season 2 it's like but they kind of redeemed it with the last few episodes. I don't know if it's like they called back the animators and was like, we need to just get these 3 episodes and push them out because those last 3 episodes to me were pretty good. So I don't know if that's something One Punch Man is going to try to do and kind of end on the bright side because there's a lot of great fights within this like monster arc that they're doing. To me, it's like, it's just surprising to me that I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if they didn't give them the animationers enough time to animate this arc or what that reason is, but I wish they would have really looked at this and was like, this could be a really like big pop property and we need to really put a lot of money into it. You know what I mean?
We think that they would. I mean, because One Punch Man is a huge show for them. I don't remember the studio that kind of owns it. I think it's Bandai, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But that could be a huge moneymaker for them. So I don't know why you wouldn't invest most of your money into that, especially if it's going to give you a huge return. Because I mean, you're still spending the money to animate the show, but if you do it poorly, nobody's going to watch it. You're just losing money on a show that people adore
and everybody wants to see. And it's so like, it's so many great scenes that they need to do, and then it could be a top contender. I think what really makes you think is like you got stuff like One Piece, and it's like it's been going on for so long, but they understand that we got to keep competing, we got to keep updating the animation, we got to keep letting our animators take breaks and stuff so we can keep giving out the best product. And you're just sitting back like, One Punch Man doesn't even come out with as many episodes. Like, why can't we get 12
It's
or
ridiculous.
21 crispy episodes? Like, I just don't understand. Like,
I mean, comparing anything to One Piece is rough. God, I mean, every episode that they come out with recently is just, it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
but
Especially
like,
with anything Gear 5, you're like, oh, this is gorgeous. But yeah, I mean, they really messed up with One Punch Man. I hope there's a redemption for it because I really like that show and I want it to do well.
that's one show that's like, if I could be a voice actor or if I could get into it, that's a show I would love to be on. And I wouldn't care what I was, just a monster,
Right.
hero. I could. And then it's still going on, so there's so much more they can do with it. So,
Oh, absolutely. I'm hoping they learn from this and realize people aren't gonna like accept low quality work.
I think so. I think a lot of big anime studios are going to look at this, but I already heard that it's kind of hard with the studio times in Japan. Like, a lot of them don't even get sleep and stuff, so it's like they need to bring more people into the industry or be able to license out to more different states or countries and stuff like that. Because I don't know, I don't need these people dying out here trying to give us anime, but you know what I mean?
There's got to be demand for more animators and stuff because I mean, anime is kind of getting a second with how well the anime movies are doing recently, like Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, the more recent Dragon Ball Z movies. People have been coming to those and they've been beating American films at the box office like by a decent margin for like a quarter of the budget.
Which is crazy.
I feel like there is a high demand to like kind of give more animators more time, put more money into it, hire more people if they need, outsource if they need. It's like, I feel like we're going to get to an era where all anime is going to be like really crispy. I can only hope, but.
For sure. And my main thing, I think what they really need to do, I think a lot of different countries need to start coming out with their animes and stuff like that to start competing with Japan. So I feel like that'll make Japan have to start competing more and figure out how they can help, which I think they do in certain anime studios like Demon Slayer. I feel like they figured out the best strategy. I think My Hero then figured out a great strategy because their episodes are always crispy. Vigilantes was nice. I liked how Vigilantes look. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know what's the difference in what they're doing and what other people are doing, but
yeah, there's some sort of secret formula of time plus money equals product, but I don't know it.
But other stuff I'm watching, I'm rewatching the Boondocks. I don't know if you ever watched the Boondocks.
I've seen clips. I've watched it through YouTube Shorts.
Very funny show. If you get a chance, you definitely gotta check it out. I don't know if you're a fan of like Regina King or
I've heard of it.
Oh, definitely gotta check. You gotta check the show out. It's very funny and it's very conscious, especially to a lot of the stuff that's been happening throughout the years of America. You know what I mean? But not a political show, but it's a lot of crazy stuff.
All right, yeah.
And then other than that, I've been watching a little bit of anime wise. I watched May I Ask for One Final Thing. This is pretty good. It's one of those shows where I read the manga before, so I couldn't wait for them to actually do it because I like seeing female main characters, but I hate seeing damsels in distress. You know what I mean? I like to just see them be badasses, and the fact that she's willing to beat everyone's ass, it doesn't really matter type of thing. One of my favorite shows. Have you seen it?
I read the first volume of the manga.
Okay.
And it was great. I mean, Prince Kyle is just like the ultimate douchebag. And the main character, I forgot her name, but she's a really interesting character of how she kind of developed for the first manga. And that great initial fight scene where she beats up all the rich people. Scarlet, yes, thank you. I forgot. And she was known as like the Ice Queen or something. I feel like I'm butchering this, but I vaguely remember what's going on.
It was like a blood iron fist or something. Yeah, she
something
has
badass.
so many.
And then she beat up all those aristocrats and stuff after Prince Kyle like just mocked her and broke up with her and stuff. It was so good.
It's amazing. I love that. And then I've been watching, this new season of My Hero, the last season.
Yes.
Every episode has been.
It's been really good. I think another episode came out today. I gotta watch. So.
Yep, I haven't watched it, but man, I've been surprised. It's been kind of sad, but it's crazy because I already read the manga, so I know what's going to happen. Sure. So being actually able to see it kind of animated and it looks nice, you know what I mean? This is
right.
This is how you know, like, when you're really a fan of something, you can't wait to see it, and they're actually doing it justice, and you're just like, oh my god, you know what I mean? And this is what you want from One Punch Man. You're like, oh my god, why can't y'all do this? It's being done. I know it can be done. Like,
it can. We can only hope. They've got some time. I think they're going on a hiatus. I think like a small break. So maybe there was a redemption for One Punch Man. But.
Oh, that's interesting. I hope they actually do come back. I hope it's not like, yeah, we're going on a break, and then they're like, you know what? No, I'm not. It's too much. Like,
I don't mind anime's going on break as long as they come back with something to show for the time gone.
For sure.
So One Punch Man, the time frame between season 1 and season 2 was like 3 or 4 years, something kind of long, and it was not worth it, in my opinion.
It just really depends on when they started. That's like the biggest. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, because I mean, from our mindset, it's like, dang, I had this amount of time, but maybe from them, it's like, but they only gave us 6 months, and we had to get this out here. We had to do what we could do. So I'm gonna give them that leeway, because that could have happened, but it's still just like, oh. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into our interview. My first question is, one of my main reasons I wanted to bring you on was kind of just talk about your experience working in the My Hero franchise and Vigilantes. What is it like playing the main character, the Crawler? What was it like, the process of auditioning for him? What does the character mean to you? And do you got any favorite moments?
All right, let's get down into it. It is super cool to be the Crawler. I mean, this is my first big anime role. And so for it to be the main character in the prequel to one of the biggest shonen animes ever, I couldn't be luckier.
Man, some big steps.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've talked to various other voice actors that are way above me in terms of experience and time doing this, and they say, like, out of all the main characters you could have been in the recent years, you really couldn't have done better than, you know, being tied to My Hero, which is super cool, and I'm super grateful and lucky that I get to be part of this, because it's super fun. I mean, I love being the character. And the audition process it was no different than any other anime audition, where every now and then they email you audition sides where it's like, here's 5 characters from the show. You can read for all of them. You can read for none of them. Send it in. And then usually you hear nothing, because, you know, you're going to hear 99 no's and then 1 yes, maybe. Okay. And usually the recommended strategy for auditions is you audition for everybody. Even if you don't fit the character at all, like it's a big knuckle duster character, I'll still read for it, even though I'll never get that character. Just, you cast a wide net to hopefully bring back something. But for this audition, I read for all the characters. I read through them all. I thought, I really am connecting to Kōichi. So instead of doing the thing where I kind of read for everybody, I'm just going to really hone in on Kōichi. I'm really going to focus on it and just put my whole heart and soul into Kōichi for the read. And I did, and I bought the first manga. I read it. I looked at the wiki. I wrote in a notebook. I did all my little actor notes and stuff. I went in and I worked with my acting coach on it, submitted it, and like for the next 3 weeks, it was like pins and needles. I was like constantly like Googling, like, have they released the cast? Did I make it? Did I not make it? And then after 3 weeks, I kind of just I was like, I have to stop looking because it's driving me crazy. And then on the 4th week, I got the email being like, you're Kōichi. And it was just this amazing moment for me, because I've been doing this anime voice acting for a year, and I've just been doing background. And so for me to go from that to be the main vigilante in this awesome show, it's like, oh my God, I couldn't ask for more. This is amazing. And so I went in and we did the first episode. It was so much fun. And the first episode will always be my favorite, just because it was such a cool moment for me to go and do that. Because this is what I wanted to do for years. And to finally be able to do it professionally and have all these lines and people to enjoy what I do is super special to me. I'm so honored to be able to do it. But outside of that, my favorite moment outside of episode 1 for Kōichi is in episode 9 with his mom, where he does the he saves Makoto from the bus by flying a little bit, and he gets that really cool hero, I'm gonna do it with all my power kind of moment. And I love yelling in anime, and it was a really cool cathartic kind of hero moment for Kōichi. It was just super fun. And I only had to do that scene one time. Usually for scenes, you know, we go through it 2, 3, 4 plus times, to, you know, to really fine tune it, get the timing and the emotions right. But for that scene, the director, we did it once, and then he was like, that's good, we can just move on. That was perfect. And I was like, yes, that's awesome.
Damn, that's dope. So was it like that after every episode? After episode 9, you're able to do one take?
No.
Oh, okay. It was
really,
that scene
that
was really hype.
I really connected with the character, and it was a really cool kind of like, because those are the moments that people kind of criticize in dubs about how like the English never go as far as the Japanese go in terms of like those like really hard moments. And I was like, I really want to show people that I can do it. And this is my moment to show that I can really get there. And so I put I was sick that day too, but I really put all of my heart and soul into it, and it came out good. And for like the next 2 days, I couldn't speak, but it was worth it.
Okay. So how do you feel like you personally connect with the character? And how long did it take you to actually come up with the voice?
Thankfully, the voice for me was very natural because I looked at the character, and him and I are very similar appearance-wise. If I got my hair cut like him and I shaved my face, him and I could do a cosplay of him. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, I don't need to do much. And then I connect with the character in a lot of ways because he and I share a lot of we're similar ages. We have the same kind of like outlook on our lives, where we're both a little bit of a bummer. He's pessimistic, I'm pessimistic. We both have self-confidence issues about, you know, wanting to be better than we are and not feeling like we can reach that goal. So connecting with the character was really quite simple. I mean, once I read the first manga and I kind of see, you know, his thought process and how he goes through his life and wanting to be something like that, it was very it was a very emotional moment for me, because it was like, oh my God, this character, it's very close to my own heart, and it's very cool. And I based a lot of, you know, my acting choices on what I would do, because it's just a fun coincidence that him and I are very similar.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments with him will have to probably be, I think it's probably episode 2 or 3. It's whatever episode they're fighting that huge giant monster with those like 4 or 5 different arms, and it takes the girl, I had her name in my head, Pop Step, and throws her on the ground, and you see him going like from building to building to jump to try to save her, because he's like, she needs something to leap off of, and just seeing him do all that right after like barely thinking that he can even really be a hero, but he keeps having like these little moments where you're like, man, you like more heroic than all the people around you, like, right? And that's one of those things where I say I kind of compare him to Deku, because like when you first see Deku, you notice that Deku has this thing about him that's like, okay, you can tell he's a true hero. I mean, the first moment you see him, I mean, Kanchan's getting almost killed by the slime monster, and no other hero is willing to do anything. And Deku, who is quirkless, is the only person that's willing to run and try to get Deku and get Kanchan out of this. So like seeing those moments kind of like makes me kind of see Kōichi in the same light. So like it'd be moments where I'm like, I could see the similarities and the differences between them. Do you have anything like that? Like,
absolutely. I mean, the character description for Kōichi is it's something, it's along the lines of like, he's Deku if he had never met All Might. So Deku and Kōichi share a lot of similarities as characters. I think Deku is a lot more, I'm trying to think of the right word here. He's a lot more like headstrong. Like he's willing to like life or limb. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to break my arms. And I don't care if I shatter my fingers when I'm doing my quirk and everything. And he's willing to go that like extra kind of crazy mile, which is awesome. Kōichi, I don't know if he's willing to do that on a day-to-day basis. He wants to be a hero as best as I think the difference between Deku and Kōichi is that Deku wants to be the best hero. He wants to be the number one hero, like he says. This is the story of me becoming number one, and it's a really great journey. Kōichi's is he just wants to be somebody who can help, and whether that's a hero or a vigilante, even if it's just picking up garbage, he feels that that's a great thing to do, and just help his community is enough for him. And I think that's a really kind of down to earth character that a lot of people can relate to. Not that Deku is not relatable. Deku is incredibly relatable, but it's just a difference in scale of like Deku wants to help everybody and be, everybody's hero. Kōichi is okay with just being the local hero. I'll save a cat from a tree. You can save a burning building. It's two different people with the same kind of mentality on different scales.
That I could totally agree with, because if you go back into just the vigilantes from like the first episode and you go after Kōichi get beat up right after his job and you see him really angry about it, and then he's like, okay, I'm about to put on my vigilante's clothes,
right?
And like he doesn't put on his vigilante clothes and go out and start kicking ass, beating people's ass or anything. He's out there being Mr. Nice Guy, going around
giving directions.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just sitting back like, okay, this he's so interesting,
right?
You know what I mean?
And he's not upset about it. He loves doing. He at the end he's like, oh, that was awesome. I had such a great time. And it's like, yeah, you did.
And then like to get kind of caught up into a pop step and her and all that stuff happening, and her getting like beat up and mugged, and Knuckle Duster coming out and him being like a whole different type of vigilante because he's out here kicking ass. Like he ain't asking questions.
Some blood.
And then you just see the difference in his mindset, because he's like, I don't know who's more evil, you or him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's what he's like, this guy's more dangerous. He's kind of a loose cannon.
Man. I just kind of like also seeing him kind of interact with some of the type of heroes that we see in the future, like in My Hero Academia and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. I mean, you haven't read any of the manga for?
No, I haven't read any of the. I'm probably gonna get into it because I've been kind of getting like, anytime I watch an anime and I kind of get like, oh, I can't wait for the next season. That's when I start reading them.
Kōichi gets some really great interactions with some heroes, some academia heroes. To list a few, I'm not going to give away what the interactions are, but he does a lot with Aizawa. Midnight's there. Endeavor, Best Genius, Ingenium, obviously. Do he
get to meet All Might?
Briefly. Kōichi and All Might never really have a moment, which I feel like is a missed opportunity. Maybe they'll change.
But maybe that's the reason why like he never gets all for one. You know what I mean? Or he never gives him his quirk, because he'd probably be like, dang.
Kōichi has a quirk already. You can't give it to somebody who has a quirk.
You can. You can. All the preview, I think all Mights or people who have had that quirk have basically had quirks. That's why he has all those other quirks he can access in All for One, because it's their previous quirks.
Kōichi probably wouldn't have. Kōichi, honestly, he might have turned it down. I think that might have been too much for him. I think he likes the idea of being All Might, but I think the pressure to be that would be too much for him, in a sense of like he just wants to help his community. But if he has that kind of power, he has the responsibility to help all of the world, basically. And I feel like he likes to look out for the little guy. And you can't do that if you're All Might, unfortunately.
I feel that. I just want to make this correction if we've been saying it, but it's One for All. I don't know if we've been saying All for One, but it's One for All
every time.
I just want to.
I had to do it in my head. I'm like, All for One is the selfish. One for All. One for All is the good guy. It's tough, but yes, the good guy, All Might.
For my next question, I want to ask you is basically, when was the moment you realized you wanted to be an actor, and what contributed to that?
It was years ago at this point. I was probably about 14 or 15. And just growing up, I really didn't have an interest in like much. I was a moody teenager. Everything sucks. But I liked anime. I love cartoons. I like video games. And I just like kind of animation and just stuff like that. But I have no artistic bone in my body. I can't animate. I can't draw. I can't direct. And so I was like, okay, well, what's left? and I don't know. And so I went to a convention, and Todd Haberkorn was there, and Todd Haberkorn was in Soul Eater, which is one of my favorite animes ever. And he was in Full Metal Alchemist and stuff. And that's kind of when it clicked to me. I'm like, this voice acting is a career, and I can do this for full time. And I went and I talked to Todd Haberkorn. He was super great. And ever since, he was kind of my inspiration to become a voice actor. And ever since then, he's always been in the back of my mind as motivation. Like, I want to be like Todd Haberkorn. And so I'm still on that journey because he's super cool.
For sure. I think you're pretty dope. You seem awesome. But
I'm getting there.
For me too, it's like moments where I personally be like watching anime and I'm like, hey, I would love to be able to voice some of these characters and just see how it would be to do that. And it seems like a very interesting career, you know what I mean? But it's for me personally, I just be like, I don't feel like I can create unique voices for characters. Like for me, when I listen to Kōichi and I'm like, this voice comes out of a person, like that is super unique. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's the beauty about voice acting. Is that it's not about like, oh, can I do these insane voices that you won't even recognize me? A lot of, especially in anime, a lot of the iconic voices are not wildly different than their speaking voice. Like Sean Schemmel doing Goku, he's doing a fantastic job being Goku and the character of Goku, but it's not like he's throwing on this indistinguishable voice. Like if you heard Sean Schemmel, you would hear Goku to some extent. And, you know, Christopher Sabat doing Vegeta, he's obviously doing a little bit, but it's really just Christopher Sabat. You know, I could list, you know, Justin Briner, and now all the names are Todd Haberkorn, all these great voice actors. A lot of their big characters are more or less them with like a little twist. Yeah. And so just because you feel like, oh, well, my voice isn't that great, or I can't do this and I can't do that. There's so many characters out there for everything. And as long as you can bring that acting and that the emotion, there will be characters out there for you and for me and for everybody. And I think that's the wonderful part of a voice acting is there's so many things to do.
Okay. Do you feel like voice acting has become like a flooded field now? Like the interest that it has become so popular that it's kind of hard to get roles now?
Oh, yes. I mean, it's just different. Back in the day, before I was a voice actor, like 20 years ago, when it was, you know, the Colleen Clinkenbeards and the Sunny Straits and the Christopher Sabats of the world, they got into voice acting by knowing somebody into the like, oh, well, I knew Christopher Sabat and he brought me in and I did 1,000 characters for him and now I'm Luffy or I'm Goku or I'm so on and so forth. And so it was really a very closed off industry and there was like 50 people in it. So you got more roles, but it was hard to get in. Nowadays, it's a more open industry, but that has the problem. There's so many people.
Yeah. And
there's so much incredible talent that it's like to get one role, you have to beat 30 other people that were just as good as you and might be sound better for the character. It's like, this sucks, but it's awesome at the same time because it means the anime is, you know, more varied and, you know, you don't hear the same
people all
people at the same time, which those people are great. But I agree, it's nice to hear other people.
For sure. Get to open it up a little bit.
Right. So it's just different in terms of the difficulty. It's not easier or harder. It's just different.
What emotions do you find hard to portray?
Probably kind of the sadness is a hard emotion for me, especially in anime, because anime sadness is not the same as like real person sadness.
True.
Like real person sadness is very quiet, very reserved, and very kind of like internal. But you can't do that in anime usually. It's got to be big and kind of broad. And
kind of intense.
I empathize with Justin Briner having to cry as Deku like every freaking couple of episodes. That's got to be killer. But yeah, any of those like really kind of like it's got to be big but small kind of emotions like sadness or kind of like somberness are just really tough for me, and those are the ones I have to usually go back and do multiple times because they're just slow and you got to get the right kind of intention on each word for it to sound right. Anything loud and aggressive is really easy for me. Any kind of like comedy, screaming or like rage, it comes naturally. Not that I'm like an angry person, but it's easier to get those out vocally and not have to be angry.
Well, like those sad moments are those moments that you got to kind of pull back from when back in your childhood or your trauma experience and be like, okay, this is something when I was sad. But the interesting about that, because when I've been talking to voice actors and one person basically was like, yeah, I hate doing that. Because it's like, now I got to re-traumatize myself. Just like, not just go from the moment. And if it's not the best take, I just do it again. You know what I mean? So
I learned acting through that like personalization of like, oh, remember when you were a kid and this happened to you and now you're upset. And I agree, it has its drawbacks of like, well, now I'm thinking about when I was upset. This sucks. I hate it. I personally think that's where the best acting comes from, when you can kind of, when it's kind of a real emotion, but it can be destructive at the same time. So everybody has their own process.
But my next question I want to ask you, is there anyone you want to shout out that has been a good support system for you that's kind of helped you get to where you're at? And anybody that's kind of helped you get to basically where you're at right now?
Oh my God, my cup runneth over with stuff like that. I mean, first and foremost, my wife, her name is Kate. She's wonderful. She's been just the most supportive person in my life. I don't feel like I would be a voice actor still if it weren't for her. She pushes me to be better, and she pushes me to be not only a good voice actor, but a good person. And, you know, I've become a better person through knowing her, and I think that's awesome. But if we're talking more specifically from voice actors, Linda Leonard, who's my acting teacher, she's wonderful. She's been doing voice acting for longer than I've been alive. She's in Psychopaths and a bunch of other great shows. She's just awesome. And she helped me get the role of Kōichi. So thank you to her.
That's amazing.
Todd Habercorn obviously is big inspiration. I haven't had a lot of like face-to-face interactions with him recently, but he's always kind of my idol in terms of voice acting. No matter how far I go into this, I'll always attribute my motivation to him. Jason Marnoka and Macy Johnson and Aaron Campbell, all of the Vigilante people have been just phenomenal people in my life. It feels like a second family a lot of times. Jason is one of the coolest, most helpful. I text him sometimes like, Jason, I don't feel like I'm a very good actor. He's like, oh, you're a great actor, you know, and he gives me advice and stuff. I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then last, I gotta shout out Ian Sinclair.
Okay.
Because I just recently started doing conventions not that long ago, you know, earlier this year. And I got booked for Fan Expo, which is like a giant, you know, 50,000 people convention. And that was like my third convention ever. And so I went, and I was like, I was nervous. I didn't know anybody. And there was all these, David Matranga was there, Sonny Strait was there, Kyle Abear and Ian Sinclair. And I was like, oh, these people aren't going to bother to talk to me. And, you know, they're above that and stuff. And so I assumed I was going to go there in my tiny little booth and just go home. But day one showed up and we were all doing the My Hero photo shoots. And Ian Sinclair came up to me. He's like, hey, you're the new Vigilantes kid. Awesome. My name's Ian. We're going to have a good time. How are you doing, man? Are you enjoying yourself? I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. And he was so nice to me and he was so supportive. And he gives me all this phenomenal advice for acting and conventions. And he, you know, he gave me a bunch of tips for travel. And he's really been like a big brother to me a lot this year. And we've done a bunch of fan expos together, and he's just been the cool. He's introduced me to so many great people that I would not have had the gall to go up to.
That's amazing.
And yeah, Ian Sinclair, he's the coolest. If you ever meet him, he's the coolest person ever. And so I give him all the props.
I would love to bring him on here to talk to him. If that ever happens, I would definitely have to bring this up. Like,
yes,
Jack said you were amazing.
Yes, he's a cool that he'll talk your ear off because he's got a lot to say, but it's all good stuff.
For sure. Were you surprised when you went to the con with the amount of people that wanted to see you, or?
No, it's not a humble brag at all. It's a slow trickle for me. Right now,
okay.
You know, I'm there for like 10 hours a day. Maybe 20 people will come, maybe 30 people in that 10-hour span.
Okay.
There's a lot of downtime for me. And this is not like a pity party at all. I get it. There's plenty of other great things to see at that convention. There's, you know, tons of other voice actors who have done more than me. And the show is only one season long. yada yada yada. I get it, but I love meeting the people. It's so cool, and kind of one of the positives of not having a line is that you kind of get to talk to people for as long as they want. You know, it's, hey,
sure.
we got 10 minutes right now. Let's just talk. And you know, I get to meet a lot of really cool people that way. And so eventually when the line starts to form, I'll be sad that I don't get to have those kind of unique interactions anymore. But you know, it's a bittersweet ending because then I'll be, you know, getting more attention, which is always nice. But
And then it's kind of cool to kind of see the pathway of how everything goes from small to bigger. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I would love to kind of be like 3 or 4 cons in, like season 4, your line's out the door. You know what I mean? Like,
We can only hope.
and then it'd be the people that's in line, like, man, I remember season 1. I could talk to you. We were talking about this, and it's 5 minutes. Like,
Yes, I know. We got to keep going. That'll be cool.
And for my last question, I want to ask you is basically, what are your remaining goals or aspirations within the field of voice acting that you want to do?
I just want to keep doing this for as long as I am alive. I love doing it. It's my passion. It's something that I look forward to when I wake up and I have a session scheduled, whether it's for a commercial or a video game or an anime. I love doing it. And I just, you know, I'm only 25, so I hope to be doing this long into my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, until I'm buried. I want to be doing this to some capacity, and I just hope that I continue to get roles, and you know, people enjoy what I do, and I hope to improve and make people enjoy the shows that I'm in and games and stuff.
For sure. Are there any other like things you want to do, or like movies, or outside of anime, or like anything like that? You want to do a Pixar movie, or?
I'd love to do a Pixar, but they don't cast voice actors in Pixar movies. It's all the Chris Pratts and the Jack Blacks and the Jennifer Lawrence's the world.
Do you want to do live action, or you want to stick more to voice acting?
I have no interest in doing live action. I don't think I've got the face for it. I don't have the technique. I'm bad at memorization. Could not do it to save my life.
I feel like Spider-Man. That's where you want to be Spider-Man. Oh,
Spider-Man. That's one of my goals. If I could be Spider-Man in some capacity, if Yuri Lowenthal wants to take a break for a game or two, let me take over. I'll do it.
For sure. But then there's all types of different Spider-Man games and different type of universes and stuff. You would think you'd be able to get in there, because I think they just recently made a Batman anime. So it's like, come on.
They did, yeah.
If they make a Spider-Man, you know, hopefully
I'll be there.
But I feel like Yuri might be like, you know, like I can't do that without me.
I'd feel
I'll
wrong.
do that one for free. Like,
oh yeah, I'll pay to be in that one.
But is there anything else you want to talk about or discuss, or want to let us know that's coming out? Or
Vigilantes season 2 is coming out in January. I don't know when the dub is going to come out. I never do. For any My Hero fan that has not started it, highly suggested. I know your favorite characters, the Dekus and the Bakugos, are not in it, which I'm sorry. But there's other good characters, and it's a great story, and it's short. It's only going to be like 4-ish seasons. Short seasons, like 13 episodes a piece. It'll be easy watch. Really enjoy it. I promise.
For sure. And then if anybody do like My Hero and you ever wanted to kind of see what All Might was like before you got hurt or sick and stuff, this is the show you kind of want to see and stuff like that. So definitely it got its advantages and stuff like that.
Yes, you get to see a big Aizawa backstory that they never covered in Academia. So that's something to look forward to for like season 3-ish.
Ooh, I definitely can't wait for that. And with that ends today's episode. I want to thank my guests for coming on and chatting it up with me. I had a lot of fun and learned so much more about the industry of voice acting, and hopefully you listeners did too. Before we close out, I just want to allow my guests the opportunity to plug themselves, basically tell everybody where they can find you.
All right, let me make sure I get this right. I have one social media. It's Instagram, and I just made it. You can follow me at JackMB_official on Instagram. I've got like 5 posts right now, but I'm working on it. Okay. Come meet me at conventions. I'll be in San Francisco Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be there with Justin Briner and J. Michael Tatum. There'll be a ton of My Hero people. It's gonna be super fun. And Jason Marnoka and I are gonna be in Midland, Texas this Christmas season-ish, like the 13th. So look for us there. We'll be fun. Jason and I always have a good time.
For sure, for sure. If you guys ever make your way over here to Cincinnati or Ohio, you definitely got to send me a message. Okay.
Will do.
All right. I'll have all his links and stuff below. If you guys want to ask him any questions, tell him how you feel about him in Vigilantes or anything like that, you guys just go ahead and click below. And with that, I just want to say peace.
Bye.